We just bought this house a couple weeks ago, and this is our first day being able to come in, see what kind of condition it's in before we start our renovations. You always focus on water first. For instance, I look at this house and up on the roof here, there's missing shingles all over the place. What people don't see, a lot of our water damage on the siding comes from these little cracks right here in the corners. This is where the sheets meet together, and that needs to stay caulked. If that doesn't stay caulked, you'll get water get in between there, and that will cause wood rot from the inside out. It takes a while, and by the time you see it, it's too late and you got to replace your siding. Luckily, that one's not bad. The siding's all solid, but if you start getting it to where you can kind of hear it, that move, that means the siding's bad. So we'll have to patch this up. Sometimes if it's on the very bottom like this is usually the first place it happens. You can trim them out, but we'll have to judge and see if it goes up into this at all once we start tearing into it. When you're looking at a deck, the first thing you look at is you look for wood rot. You can see all these boards here are rotted. If you look up here, you see all this separating. I can move that whole deck by my hand. That's probably not good. Also, in today's code, these posts are just buried in the ground with some concrete in the fillers. Today, you have to have a 36-inch pier underneath these 6x6s, and then they actually set on top of that pier and bolt on it. What that will do, that keeps it from getting water. Waters are always our enemy. So if you have your pier up on top here, this sits right on top, so you have no wood to ground contact. Wood to ground contact is a breeding ground for all kinds of different issues, but it's an access point for termites. You never want wood to ground. One good thing about this house is the foundation walls aren't anywhere, that siding doesn't go anywhere near the actual dirt. That's another place for termites to come in. Homeowner job, that's why the caulking wasn't done properly, which is why that siding started to rot over there. As you can see here, they started painting, but there's no caulking done. So as we go, you'll see these things look like they got chicken pox by the time we're done. Caulking every single nail hole, every single seam that we can, every door, every window. But a lot of homeowners forget to caulk everything, and that's what causes wood rot. This is all rotted out. This whole door frame's rotted out, and that's just strictly from water hitting it and not having anywhere to go. So all this is actually still caulked. I'm surprised. But as water sets on them and it has nowhere to go, it just rot. That stuff is actually on the ground. So if you see this wood touching this concrete, that's why it just sits there, sits under the snow, and then that wood will soak it up because it doesn't have any paint to protect it. These outlets they have a gasket around them to not allow water in, but they're supposed to be GFCI protected. There's no GFCI out here, so we'll have to make sure to get this up to electrical code and get the GFCI done. All this water, the way they have this graded out right now, just kind of is gonna pile right here. We're gonna cut a little bit more of this section out and then push that water farther out into the yard to get it away from the house. One of the biggest maintenance issues we see is right here along the house. Whenever they backfill these, you'll see this water running towards the house. This needs to be built up to where that water is running away at a 45-degree angle outside of this house to push all that water away from the foundation. Probably 90% of your foundation problems are always water intrusion and different kinds of pressure on your foundation walls. So you want to remove the water as far away from your foundation walls as possible. They did a good job at keeping these gutters extended out, but with the grading just running back to it, it doesn't really do any good. So we'll have to bring in some dirt, raise this up, and this is something that can settle every couple of years. So it's something to always keep an eye on, even if you do go through and fix them. Luckily, we got enough drop from the front to the back that a lot of that water is just not sitting there, which is a big win. So if you look, they have this gutter running over here off this front peak, runs down and pops out right here. The way the ground is leveled, all this water comes in, it's dug a hole under here, and then it's running right down this foundation wall. So it either needs to come out, or again, you just build it up and push that water away from the house. So we'll probably replace this front door, just get something a little more modern. We've got 6-panel doors. That one got a hole in it, so we'll have to replace that one. That's interesting. So they had something catch on fire. Luckily, it was on the tile and didn't hit the wood, so the house didn't go up in flames. Cabinets are nice. We'll probably just replace the hinges and replace all the hardware and paint them. These are a true hardwood, so we're just gonna sand these down and refinish them. We'll replace all the carpet, obviously paint everything, replace the light fixtures. These early 2000s houses just didn't have enough light. They didn't really use a lot of can lights in these builder grade houses. So in my opinion, they're just too dark. So we'll add some can lights everywhere. Suburban, never know what you're gonna find. We'll do all this flooring, but other than that, fix a few floor squeaks. A lot of times these houses, when we buy them, they're just due to people, they've lived here. They haven't had time to maintain it. They've been dealing with the kids, they've been dealing with work, and they just haven't had the time. For us, it's a numbers game. It doesn't matter to me if the floor is really, really bad or if it's just got a couple stains. It costs the same to replace the floor. It costs the same to do the walls. I don't have to do trim here. I mean, we'll have to do some touch-ups and get some stuff figured out, but overall, this house is gonna be a really cool house, and hopefully we can get a veteran in here. The other thing with this particular area, this is Kansas City city limits, so firefighters still have to live in city limits. So this is a great area for firefighters. So we'd love to get either some sort of veteran VA buyer or a fireman in here. That'd be awesome for us. We see these a lot. It's kind of cool. This house actually happened to be a friend of mine, so it's kind of fun to see their kids growing up. Loves mom and dad. That's pretty neat. We'll rip this out, this prefab shower, and put a nice custom tile shower in. We'll probably keep this vanity and just change the hardware and change this top. We always replace all the toilets. It's just kind of a weird OCD thing I have. Like, I don't like using used toilets. Overall, this one's really not gonna be bad. This is what I would consider just cosmetic only. We have no structural issues. I'm really excited to get this one. This is gonna take us probably 60 days, start to finish, to get this done. Biggest thing we have to worry about is that roof, gutters, that deck, and then a whole lot of paint. But I appreciate you guys walking around with me. It's kind of fun to look at these houses before we touch them. If you guys ever have any questions on maintenance items, maintenance tips, things to look for, comment below and we'll go through and kind of do some smaller videos on things in particular like that. All right, let's get to work. Most important piece is they got everything caulked up and sealed. We're gonna have to paint this door again. This door needs to be replaced.
Yep, I saw that.
I actually think they did this when they were moving. I think he backed my trailer into this. So we added all these can lights through here, added a bunch of can lights in there. We removed the old tile.
Oh, that's pretty.
Around this. I don't know if you can see that white stacked stone. True hardwoods through the kitchen, which is weird. Normally they have it everywhere else but the kitchen. And then we did black lowers, white uppers. This is that matte tile. So I've never used it. When we were at the tile shop the other day, it kind of intrigued me because it's got a matte finish. Rip off the granite off the island and turn that into butcher block.
What color is this granite?
It's like brown.
Oh, that'd be pretty.
So it's a color I would never pick. But I think with butcher block here.
And the white backsplash, I think that'll look okay.
I think it'll all tie together. We painted this wood top. That may end up going butcher block too. This is like a little desk area. We added these can lights, and then we'll have some sort of a pendant over this island. None of this was in here. They only had one awkward light up here. We were going to keep our vanity in here. Ended up, it had some wood rot damage from water, a leaking faucet. In our original walkthrough, we weren't really sure what we were doing. And then that was only 2 weeks ago. We've gone a long way in this house for a couple weeks, but we're gonna do that as a black accent wall. We like to prime the walls anyway, so sometimes if we're spraying, we just go ahead and spray them and then come back with the black over the top. We replaced the tile around the tub.
Is this the same tile that's in the kitchen?
Yes, this is the same.
Is it still the matte?
No, it's the same tile, but it's not matte.
I like it.
Tubs around here. I think we're gonna try to do this exact tile on the sides, and then we'll do like a dark green tile on the back. So where all these wires are hanging down here, these are all gonna be can lights.
It's a lot of can lights.
We'll paint this whole ceiling black, do a floor in here. We added these windows. It was kind of dark in here. So I think this would be a cool area. Whenever you frame out a basement, it's very important to use a treated piece of wood on the bottom side. Green sheetrock is mold resistant, so if this ever gets water, I doubt it does. Walkout basements don't really carry a lot of pressure, but if it does, that mold resistance in the wood, in sheetrock, makes a huge difference. This is what we use in bathrooms behind tile, what we use on a backsplash, that kind of thing. It's a little more money, but really for about, I think it's like $8 a sheet difference.
I mean, but in the long run.
In the long run, if you ever have to tear this out, it saves you from having to rip out everything, and you can only tear out the bottom that has actually had water sitting on it. If we were gonna put a bath down here, which we don't really have it in our budget, it's stubbed, or this is set up for your sink and vanity. And then this is a toilet. And then this is actually what they do. It's got a pipe underneath this gravel.
Yeah.
So you can put your tub in here. So we put that door to where it would swing out, so we could build a wall there and have a hall finished to the door. And then they could easily add a tub here.
That's nice.
So if somebody comes along and that's what they want, that's what we'll do. But
Add another bedroom or something if they wanted to?
Yep. You could do a bedroom over here on this side, and really easily, because you'll have a wall like right here, which would give you about a 12 by 12 bedroom.
That's not bad.
So if somebody wanted it, there's enough room to put a window in, and
Yeah.
you could have another official bedroom. This is Briggs, this is Cassie. But basically, as far as the exterior goes, we got rid of those vents that were in the front and added vents down the side
I saw that.
to get the
okay.
to get that look, because there's a bunch of these houses over here that look just like this one.
Yeah.
So it kind of just changed the whole feel of it compared to those.
Nice.
New roof, that was desperately needed.
Yeah.
I like the color of the roof, for sure.
Yeah, that's like my go-to.
Yeah.
Because it's got browns and tans and grays, and it
Yeah.
kind of just brings everything together. So new lighting, come on in, new front door.
Now, did you guys bolt this down?
We bolted that down.
You did, okay.
Mounted that, changed the top, obviously. Refinished the hardwoods.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not as dark.
We added can lights.
I was gonna say the
Yeah.
lights.
That looks good.
Can lights in here. Those are all new. Can lights down the hallway are new.
Oh, wow. Much bigger ceiling.
We kept your appliances for now. Butcher
I
block.
love this.
Yeah, I like that a lot too.
The best thing Briggs will like is the new deck.
Oh, you expanded it.
We
and
expanded
brought
it over. Yep.
Okay.
These bedrooms got all new fans.
Man, that thing looks like it's ready to blast off, Devon.
I accidentally ordered 2 living room fans, but new flooring, new tile everywhere.
Oh, wow, you took out the insert.
Yeah, we took out the insert, put tile all the way up. We're waiting
Okay.
on the door to come in. New tile around the jacuzzi.
Oh my gosh, you put 2 windows down here.
We did. Yeah, so like Monday, I was like, let's put a bathroom down here.
Well, it had it for it, so
It
you
was
might
ready.
as well. That's
We already
good.
did this area. I kind of am liking these black ceilings, and it just kind of gives you a feel. But you want to know what I found today that I ordered for my personal house and accidentally sent here? These lights are
that's
so
cool.
freaking cool.
Oh, I like those.
I did it on accident.
See, Devon, your vision is what we had envisioned when
Is
we
it?
originally bought this house. So
That's cool.
it's awesome that you're able to bring it all to life.
So I had to get a 36-inch door for this. And then if somebody wanted to, and it wouldn't take much to do it, is to frame this in and then put another bedroom back here
Yeah.
very easily.
Yeah.
We did find a couple random plumbing leaks
Oh, really?
that were just dripping, not really causing a problem yet. Somehow, and it must have been the way it fell out of that bathroom, that line that ran, that was right there, had a hole in it.
Really?
Sometimes the way the water will come down, like it leaves a little air gap, and it just was barely seeping, so you never even would have noticed it. But if we would have finished this thing, we would have noticed it real quick.
Yeah. Is this the same flooring upstairs?
Yep,
It is. It looks different.
It looks much
it is.
Yeah.
It looks more brown.
It does look more brown.
Yep, it's crazy how much lighting changes. You have all that natural lighting upstairs, so
Yeah.
it'll make it gray out. a
Well,
little
and the
bit.
ceiling
And the
is
ceilings are high.
lighter versus here it's black, so you pick up more of the brown shade.
These early 2000s houses only had like 1 light per room.
Yeah.
My first house was the same house almost. It was
Yeah.
the same, 1 ceiling fan light. Like the living rooms are always dark. So I just really like to be able to make it bright. These things, I don't know how much I spent on them, and I probably don't want to look at it, but I think they're the way to go. 'Cause-
So you get the best of both.
yeah, and it's super dim to set that mood when we're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah. And
Or
or watch a
get the kids to
movie
chill, because these aren't making kids chill.
No.
No.
They get all jacked up. If you guys don't mind, can we ask you a couple questions about the process? Walk us through, and this is also for our process to improve as we're moving forward. Do you feel like you made the right decision by selling to us versus trying to go to the market and deal with all the people coming in? Also, how easy was it?
Yeah, it made our lives a lot easier. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, if we were to do all this ourselves,
Yeah.
we would have had to, you know, move to one side of the house while you work on one, like on the kitchen,
Yep.
and then or the living room, then move to the other side, and then you just moving things around, and it would have been a lot, especially with my work schedule and, you know, coming off of a knee surgery and, you know, her schedule.
Hey, you're still pretty gimpy.
And 2 kids, and
Yeah.
it's just it took a lot of the hard work of selling a house out of it. You know,
Good.
You know, and then not only do you have the renovation side and all those inconveniences, but then you have to be out of the house by this time because we got a showing, and then you got to
Find somewhere and run around, and the kids are doing whatever kids do.
Find somewhere
which
for
is
the dogs
never-
to go, find
Right.
somewhere else to go, and then come back, and then you know, do the same thing. You know, however many times, maybe once a week, you know, once a month, however many times you need.
We
to do
launched
that,
one
but-
today, and it has shown 8 or 9 times today.
Right.
And you almost just need to leave.
Yeah. Just go
We're going on
somewhere for the
vacation.
day.
And I think that was the best part for us, is that it was super non-stressful. Like
Yeah.
as big of a stress as it is, like getting your house ready to sell it and looking for another house, we didn't really feel that stress.
Right.
Like
Right.
That was easy. It was just
one,
one-stop
like
shop.
we felt like we could trust you, which is a huge thing in anything that you do,
appreciate
really. But like to know that you were going to take care of our property like how we would want it, right? Like I told you, this is everything that we had envisioned when we originally bought the house, right?
Yeah.
We know that it's up to the correct standards and codes, just because you do sell a lot to first-time home buyers or to veterans and all of that. It made it really easy when we were ready to buy too. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we can wrap it all up in one big package for
Right.
you and make it as stress-free as possible.
Yeah.
It
I
was
think
really
we
easy.
came in and did some painting in your new house. You had some time to get out. And
Yeah.
Man, I see these people. I've had people show up to closings with U-Hauls with their whole
Yeah.
life in it. And then something gets delayed a day.
Yeah.
And they are literally living in a U-Haul.
Yeah.
I've seen that I don't know how many times. And it stresses me out just watching it. Like I
Right.
can't even imagine living through that. So that's one thing we try to do, is make it easy and make it a process where we can pay as much as possible. But I also have a problem, as we all know this. Like when I start these houses, I have a budget of here. I never end up there.
You should always add like another 20 grand.
I
to
really, and that it
it.
should.
You really should.
It's about to become a normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
In all things Devon does, his life, this life, always a little more.
I just feel like I want this to be where my family could go.
Right. And I
If-
think that's what
if I'm going to put my name on it, then it needs to be like this house has been here. You guys haven't really had to do much to it in 10 years, 12 years. How long were you here?
11.
Yeah,
11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 11 years, that's a long time to not have to do much. So that means it was done right when you moved in.
Right.
So I'm hoping the people that move in here have 10 or 15 years and they don't have to mess with anything for a while either.
Yeah.
And the problem is you come in and you find this or you find that. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast. And
Right.
you want to bring everything up to code that you can
Yeah, for
and make sure it's going to last.
Yeah.
And so I'm super thankful that you guys trusted us with this, and also your new house.
It just felt right. Like when we approached you about it and you gave us numbers and things, and we actually sat down and did our own research and pinned to paper, it was right.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I try to be as upfront and honest as possible. I can't predict the future. The housing market could go down, it could go up. I have to prepare for the negative side a little bit, but a house like this is super predictable. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you letting us film this. We're trying to do a better job at
No, it's a lot better.
the social media thing. I hate social media. So I just kind of let him follow me around and record me talking like an idiot most of the time, but I just talk.
It worked. Well, because I follow New Edge, and I follow Devon, and I follow you, and I follow Brian. So
Yeah.
if they put,
Bits and pieces.
I get it, and I'm like, ooh, that's our house. And so like then I was like trying to figure out where these windows
Because
were.
TikTok tells you who's viewed your profile.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Cassie's creeping, trying to find pictures of the house.
Yeah, she's always on there.
I am.
I was like, she's trying to get
Well, I
a
always
sneak
like to
peek.
see what you're doing. I'm like, oh, what's he doing in the Independence house? What's he doing here? And
Once we're done with this one, we're gonna raise the value of everything in this place, which is kind of cool.
All right, well, we just want to give a big thanks to New Edge Renovations and taking care of our first home and renovating it and updating it for somebody else to enjoy. And if you like this type of stuff, please like and subscribe for more.